hell no. Now that's better. This is your president, MiZZ Entertainment, and welcome to the Power Hour. We getting ready to kick this thing off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. There we go. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, MiZZ Entertainment. I am your president of the Real As People Society. So welcome to the Power Hour. We're here live every Saturday at noon-ish on Terradome Entertainment Radio, where we play the best hits from old school to new school hip-hop, R&B, and more. So go to TerradomeENTRadio.com and click on the Listen Live button, or tune in on TuneIn, or Live 365. Or you can also catch us live streaming on Terradome ENT YouTube channel. Now, if you don't catch us live, you can always catch the replays of this show and others on TerradomeENTRadio.com or on all your major podcast apps. Of course, I am not in the place alone. Let me introduce my team. My entertainment. What I call you again? My chief entertainment officer, DJ Talented.
Listening all over the place today. Good morning, people. Good morning. Good afternoon, and all the rest of that good stuff.
And we got a first timer here, Mr. Nick Starr, actor, director, and producer.
Yeah, how everybody doing? Good to be here. Great to be here.
All right. I know you got some stuff to do because you got some rehearsals coming up, so we're going to keep this nice and short and sweet. Now, I'm just doing some research. You're from Chicago, right?
That's home. Yeah, sure is.
All right. So my husband's from Chicago. What part of Chicago are you from?
Oh, that's always the first question. You know that when we two people from Chicago meet, it's what side you're from. Now we grew up on the west side, over off Pulaski near K-Town. Then we eventually moved out to Maywood. We were like some of the first black folks out there. So yeah, it was interesting times.
All right, DJ Talented.
Well, yeah. I'm right around that area. I was Pulaski and Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah, right there in
that,
that area.
Penn School, yeah, Mason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Deserve.
Okay. Right. Okay. All right, homie.
So we're I guess uniting y'all Chi-Town residents. So how did you end up here in Atlanta?
In 96, I retired from the military. And when I retired, they gave me my airline ticket back home. It was October. And anybody that's from Chicago know that if you're not in Chicago in October, ain't no way in the, can we cuss on this? Ain't no way in the hell I'm going back to Chicago in October. So I hung out in Atlanta and fell into this acting thing, and just never went back home. Between September and June, I just don't make it home. You know, that's just not the time to be in Chicago. That home, right about that time.
Definitely. Now, what branch of military?
I did 20 years in the Army. Yeah, the United States Army. You did.
All right. I did 21 total in Air Force, though, but that's all right. We won't hold it against you.
Okay. Yeah, y'all was the one. Okay, low key, we was jealous of y'all. You know, y'all in the chair, y'all kick back, relaxing, maxing in a real city while we out there in the woods. Yeah, y'all had it up here. I give it to you. It's all good.
Yeah, we were spoiled. We were definitely spoiled. We knew we were spoiled when we go on any other branch of military installation. Like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get into your acting thing. So what inspired you to go down that road of, being an actor?
Well, I guess initially it was just in the military. I was in trouble all the time. They couldn't send everybody to the kitchen, peeling potatoes. They didn't send everybody there. Some of us got detailed out to different areas. I got detailed out to a theater, pulling gum off the floor and making sure the curtains were straight and fixing lights and cleaning bathrooms. and there was a director there and another brother that I had a bad attitude, and so to disrupt what they were doing on stage, if somebody missed a line, I'll be backstage and I'll recite the line from the rafters or from anywhere I was in the theater. And so once they figured out this little private had a good memory, so to speak, they started utilizing me. They tricked me in. They tricked me into getting on stage, and once I got on stage, I just never left. Yeah, yeah.
They tricked you to getting on stage.
Oh yeah, yeah. They use that white black thing. You don't tell a 17-year-old from Chicago if you're a white dude, you don't tell a 17-year-old from Chicago that he ain't man enough to do something. So I would say these lines from backstage, off stage, while I'm doing my detail, just to irritate them. And then the director, Jerry Passett, I wish I could see him today. He said anybody can do that backstage. Takes a real man to do it on stage. So when he called me out, I came on stage, but I didn't know what to do once I got there. And then there was a brother. He said, "Yo, man, don't let the white boy get you like that. Look, this is what you do. This is how you move. This is where you." And so I'll come to his room every night and he showed me what to do. And I guess about maybe 3 weeks later, that director called me back on stage again. Anybody can do that backstage. So when he called me out, I brought it to the stage and I knew what to do. And then I end up doing that show. But after the fact, I find out that they had got together. The brother and the white boy got together and they wanted me in it. And that was just their way of getting me in the show. So it ended up being the best thing, probably the best thing, one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because then the dude told me, he said, "Look, you can keep getting in trouble, coming here and cleaning my bathrooms, or you can sign this paperwork and come work for me. And anytime somebody gets sent there to do detail, I was in charge as a private. Put me in charge. Okay, cool, I can do that." And so I worked under him for about 4 years, and didn't have to do, the motor pool and our typical stuff. I would just be in the theater. If we didn't have detail, I was cleaning bathrooms. But anytime we had some, people there, I was in charge. And at the same time, I was under him learning how to do this thing we call theater. Yeah. It was
So
a
they
blessing.
did the Jedi mind trick on you.
Exactly.
and as they say, the rest was history.
Yes, pretty much. That was it for me. I was hooked. Being on stage and getting positive attention for a change. At home, you figure I'm in the military at 17. Then yeah, I must have been doing something I had no business doing. That was back when they give you a choice. You can go here, or you get in trouble. A lot of the young brothers were in the military. That was back in the late 70s. So I was in trouble. Didn't lose that attitude once I got in, and that led me into this thing that I do now. Even today.
So what do you find most rewarding being an actor?
At this point in my life, it's I really enjoy sharing. There are a lot of people, especially here in Atlanta, are trying to get into the industry and trying to do work and trying to find the way, navigate how to get there. And so I love theaters, my love, but film pay the bills. So I love trying to help people get to that point, and finding, and once they decide that this is what they want to do, how to get there, how to manage it. You become, a lot of people think you just walk up on a set or you just walk onto a stage. You can have some natural talents, but you got to understand it's a craft. So teaching people to respect the craft. And if you got some talent, then pour into your own talent. Yeah. So
Yeah, what's on the other side? Because is that, like you said, you have to pour into their talent, and you can get that instant gratification, but there's still that all that work behind it. So what do you find most challenging about being an actor,
people,
especially in this industry now?
and especially here in Atlanta, Atlanta actors run into, I would say, like maybe 10 years ago, anybody they needed on set, anybody they needed to do anything, they would always send to New York or send to LA or they send someplace else. And we just weren't thought, we just wasn't taken serious at all. So, and to today, it's still, we still have a lot of Atlanta actors that go to New York or they go to LA, get themselves an address just to be sent back here to go to work. So that stigma of Atlanta actors not knowing or not knowing what to do is still out there. So the big challenge now is to get my Atlanta brothers and sisters to study under somebody, get under somebody, learn your craft, find out what to do, so that when you get on the stage, you're not, or when you get on a set or stage, you're not just representing yourself, but in a big way, they're looking at you. Okay, this is Atlanta act. They put you in category, and trying to bust out of that stigma. You know, they look at us. We'll be real good day players, but trying to get into a lead role, unless you leave Atlanta and then come back, it's hard to do. So like right now, that's the big challenge, you know, getting out of that stigma. Everything's coming here. The industry is here now already, but they still don't look at Atlanta artists or Atlanta crew. If you're from Atlanta, they kind of look at you, you know, they're gonna check you out first. But as soon as you say you're from LA or New York, you're in. You know, you somehow they look at you a little bit different.
So you got to get a New York or LA address just to get looked at.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
That is
They just look at you crazy. They look at you different if you're coming from someplace else. You know, you gotta the negotiations are different, the money is different.
really
Oh my God. Oh my God. We can go that's a whole show all within itself. Yeah.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for dropping those gems. So now you played quite a few roles. What was the most fun role that you played? Because I know the one in what's that? Survivor's Remorse. That was funny. But what was your most to you the most fun role?
Well, like I said, theater is my love. You know, film pay the bills. Theater wise, anything August Wilson, I love. It would be a dream to one day be able to play one of the August Wilson characters on film. But anything August Wilson, anything on stage, I would say Troy Maxson. A role I'm preparing for now is King Hedley. We'll be presenting that at the Marietta's Theater in the Square in July. I'll be able to step into the shoes of Elmore from King Hedley II. So those are theater-wise, those are my favorite. Film-wise, favorite, I would say the police chief in Average Joe, or in Graves. I got to be a bartender at a biker's bar. Kind of weird, a brother in this
Yeah.
biker's bar running things, and I ran things. So those were fun. Those were fun. Yeah.
Now you have transitioned into several different things. So, but first, as a producer, what made you transition into those shoes?
We have to do our own stuff. You know, if we continue to let other people tell our stories will always be tainted. Like now, I've really here in the last, I'd say 6 years, I've been really focusing on putting artists together, producing our own stuff, telling our own stories. I'm fortunate enough to be the managing director of the New African Grove Theater Company, along with some other things I do. And we've been together, now it's 12 years, and we've been fortunate enough to do all of August Wilson's works and put them all on stage, produce them all, put them on stage. Myself, Keith Franklin, Cynthia Williams, my wife, Princess Starr, and we have a brother, Rob Douglas, who helped us start this. And we've been on that journey for a while. We got tired of waiting for somebody in Atlanta other than True Colors. They always did really good quality work, but trying to wait around until somebody's going to produce an August Wilson piece got to be a headache. So we made up our minds to do it every year. We've been doing that for the last 12 years. And that was just the transition over into what I'm doing film wise. So we've always been producing the theater, putting the actors together, finding the venues, doing all the work that you do. And you know what that's like. And then, so now I'm doing the same thing film wise, working with Case in Point Productions. Got an awesome DP, Malik Marcel, that's doing work everywhere. And we're now getting together some great writers, Louis Love, just getting together and trying to put our own stories together and put our own material out there. Because with this streaming stuff, it's wide open now. And all you got to do now is just get the right team and be dedicated to your discipline. Once again, dedicated to your craft.
Now there's all types of producers. Give the audience some of the the list of stuff the producer has to do. As a producer, what has been, I guess, like your biggest challenge, and for is that list of things you had to do?
Yeah, and you're right. There's a great list. You got different producers doing different things. I look at it as I put it all in one box. Finding the right team, the right crew. That's a big part of it. You can't do nothing without your crew. While we've been producing these shows on stage, we've also been pulling together a bunch of really great actors. That's another role that producers do. Um, you know, you're not so much trying to be a casting director, but putting your eyes on the talent where they're at and stepping into those shoes so that you can put that team together as well. The biggest or the hardest thing that a producer has to do is find the money, find people that are excited about your work as you are, who are willing to invest in what you do. Um, like I say, for the last 5 years, I've been putting teams together. I'll get this group of filmmakers here, and I find these investors over here, put them together, let them talk. If I had a nickel for every pitching party I've had, or people to come to the house and pitch to investors, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't, but you keep doing it because if you ever get the right team together, if the right group of us get together and avoid the crab in the barrel thing and actually work together,
Ooh,
you have,
day right there.
yeah, that's it. If we work together, it's nothing we can't do. You got Will Packard, you got Tyler Perry. There's some more of us out there who can do it. We just have to just get our foot in the door. And that's the one thing about my brothers and sisters. If we can get our foot in the door, if you can give us an opportunity, we'll kick the damn door down. So it's just a matter of the right timing, the right place, and and be prepared with the right projects to do what it is you're trying to do.
Agreed. I always say there's a most of us wasn't born with a silver spoon, right? So it's
Right.
gonna take us working together, and there's enough out here for everybody, to
Yes.
take their piece. There's enough out here. We just, in
Hmm.
order for we to get a piece, we got to work together. We
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So if it wasn't, I mean, you got on your plate acting, producing. If that wasn't enough, you also direct.
Yeah.
So
Um,
what drew you to that path from the acting, producing, and now directing?
for a long time, I have a nonprofit organization called Young Voices United, and with that group, I'm the artistic director. And we're simply when they start taking all the arts and the music and theater, they start taking it out of the school. We needed to have a place where we can have it where the kids can still get those disciplines. And so we put together Young Voices United, and we had a awesome group of young people who we've been working with for a couple decades now, who and it's just me and my wife Princess. We're mom and pop shop. We always call it mom and pop, but we do it all. Our children. We have two children, India and Josh, who are dancers, and they teach dance. For a long time, we had Mr. Kendrick Love, very well known choreographer here in Atlanta, who started with us, and we just were pouring into the children. And teaching them. And so somebody had to direct those projects. Somebody had to, okay, this is what it's going to look like. This is what you do. And as an actor, it was very, I wouldn't say easy, but being an actor, I know how to talk to actors. And instead of most directors, I think my style is a little bit different in that I'm not on the pyramid looking down and I'm the dictator. I kind of direct. I tell everybody I direct in the round. We're at the round table, and I got the creatives coming in, and I'll make the final decision. I'll come in with the vision so that we have some direction, but it's a collaborative. We're all doing this together. So directing, just running out of or getting tired of giving my talents to someone and go through a whole show and you never received a note, you never got any direction, and you spent a lot of time, okay, trying to do it on your own. I was fortunate enough to get under a couple very good directors, Mr. Michael Cole with the Renaissance Project. I worked with him for, oh wow, I got my start here with him at the Renaissance Project, and so I got to sit back and just watch how he does this and that. Really love what he did here. Then I watch somebody else. I like what they're doing, and I just take these pieces from everybody and just kind of develop my own style. What I needed, what I didn't have as an actor, I just kind of put that in the pot, and that's what I share whenever I'm trying to direct or be in that particular position.
Totally, because that was actually my next question. What was your style of collaborating with actors? Because actors are special, and similar to yourself. I like a collaborative type of environment because no one person is better than the other. We're
Correct.
here to um, tell the story the best way it can be told. Now, of course, as a director, I have the final say, but I do want the input. If they
Mhm.
have a different way of expressing that, I'm interested in it.
Right.
So,
And
so
that's
yeah.
always been that's been the blessing for me. The people that a lot of the shows that I do now, like we have a show that's opening Friday. We're doing the meeting, um, and the actors Louis Love and Trevon Howard, awesome actors. Anybody that's seen any of my productions, you've seen them in Jitney, you've seen them in Radio Golf. Um, I've already been in all of August Wilson pieces. Now I'm trying to direct them all, and I have 4 left. And I have a group of actors that I work with that I've been directing for a while. So we can almost finish each other's sentences. I can say something, I start the sentence, and then they'll know exactly what I want. And so it's not like I have to do a whole lot of talking or anything of that nature. And then the other way that I try to keep a fresh harvest of actors, I teach a class, and in this class, I keep the class very small, and so I get to work with them, and we get to work together, and we actually do projects in this class. So I'm always been collaborating with people, getting new ideas, putting things together, and that just keeps me fresh, keeps me
Right.
active.
So let's talk about your play, The Meeting. February 23rd and 24th. Tell us
Correct.
about this amazing play. I read about it, but tell the audience about this
Okay.
amazing
Well, we have been doing this for the last, I think, 3 years. I have
Oh,
done it, produced it up at the Marietta's New Theater in the Square, and it's a awesome piece by Jeff Stetson. And a lot of people are right now watching them on Disney Channel and I think National Geo. They're doing a special called Genius, and the guy that this comes from is Jeff Stetson, an awesome writer. And the piece is about a fictitious meeting between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. They meet in Malcolm X's suite, and they have this conversation. And where most people think they'll be talking, it's goody goody. Anybody of any age know that those brothers were bumping heads, and this is a fiery, very fiery debate between these two, or about their different ideologies of how to bring our people together. Very different views, and they were going about it very different ways, and we never got to see them come together and try to work something out. And we talk about the crab in the barrel. Well, this was one of the times where when closer they got to being together, that's when Malcolm got assassinated, then Martin got assassinated. So they never imagined those two brothers coming together and trying to bring us to the next level. Well, in this particular play, you get to see what might have happened, what that discussion might have been. And, a lot of directors say, well, once I do it right, I'm not going to do it no more. I've done it right every year, and I still continue to do it because the message is so strong. If you like now, they're trying to whitewash the history. They're trying to take they've
Erase.
already, yeah, they're trying to take it out. They take it. They've already taken. They tried to take Malcolm out already. Now they're trying to take Martin out. They're trying to change our history, and this is a way that you can come and sit down and find out. Jeff didn't mince any words. You know exactly how they thought, exactly how they felt, and they put it out there in front. So it's not a kumbaya type of play. It's very fiery. It's they strong debates. I remember as a kid growing up, my mother was all about Martin, and my dad was all about Malcolm. And as a kid, I didn't quite understand. They going about it. They both black men. What's the argument? What's the fight? Then as I grew older, I found out this was a separation of all of our folks. There were people who were Malcolm. There was people for Martin, and so and that was a good way that they kept us separated.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see in this particular piece and make up your own mind and to see how brothers could possibly come together and what things can bring us together if we stop. Sometimes you just got to stop talking and just listen. And if you just listen, you'll hear the answer is there. And you get to see that in this piece. Very strong piece. Very strong piece.
Now,
And if
was it?
anybody, I was
Go
going
ahead.
to say too, anybody that for your listeners, we'll put something out that we can. If you bring a young person, um, you bring some young people to the piece on Saturday. We have a matinee, and the only people going to hear this are your people, because we're not publicizing this anyplace else. But your people who are listening right now, come to the show. Bring a young person, and you give them some kind of code. You post power hour. Just post power hour when you come in to get your ticket. Just say power hour. I'm gonna give you a ticket for $20, and your young people you bring in, I'm giving them that ticket for free. I want the young people to see it. They got to see it. It's a very powerful piece.
Nice. Um, was there a strategic reason for doing it during Black History Month? Was that purpose?
Oh yes, when right when the Santas and all of the cronies start taking it out of the schools, like right now in Cobb, I live in Cobb County. Right now in the Cobb County schools, they're low key taking some of the Black history out. There used to be a time you can get field trips to come see the plays that with anything with Martin in it, but because I got Malcolm in it as well, because Malcolm is in it, no, we can't do that field trip. Well, Malcolm
Wow.
was part of our history, so they're already low key. They say that's only happening in Florida. No, that's happening in Georgia too. They're trying to whitewash our history. They're trying to erase our history. And there we were at one time planning on, well, okay, we've done it. Nick, you've done this 3 years in a row, leave it alone. But even my actors were like very strong. Now we need it more than ever. Now we really need it. So yes.
Agreed. Totally agree. Oh my goodness! So y'all heard it. You come Saturday, it's Power Hour, you get a discount, and if your young person is free, that is
That's
amazing.
it. Come on in.
That is amazing. Um, as we Rob, I guess in this portion of the show, because you've done a lot of stuff. So is there, I guess, a favorite being an actor, producer, director? And then you say you going into film, so also kind of go into what are you doing on that side too?
Right as we speak, we're right now. Case in point, I work with a young man, Quincy Cason, who's been in the industry for. He's been there for a couple decades now, but we're producing some work, some original pieces that he wrote, and sketch comedy. We're doing some serious coming of age stories. Myself, Evil Ward, we're getting it together and we're putting some stuff out. We right now we're shooting. Um, Matter of fact, Tuesday we're doing an interview. You ought to come out. We're doing an interview of military, black soldiers, bands of brothers and sisters, and our experience in the military, how we're treated different. You know, you can go fight all you want, be overseas. My personal experience overseas, 6 years, Germany. Um, Come back. The whole time in journey, I never heard the N word. Come back an hour in, I'm back to that. You know, so our experiences going up, being in that arena, and still having to, you're fighting for your country, but your country is not really fighting for you. You know, how do we feel about that? People don't always talk about that. So that's something that we're shooting now. That it's a very serious discussion with um, officers, Air Force, Marines, just brothers and sisters sitting around who have served, who have come back, and the different stories and the things that we have faced, trying to serve this country that still don't want to recognize us. So those are the kind of message based, and we're having some fun stuff too. But those are the kind of things that I want to focus on because those are the kind of things that people don't want to talk about. But until we talk about it, we're not going to be able to get things level. We if we can talk about it, and I'm talking about not just for us to talk about. I'm talking about my white brother, my Caucasian brother, the Caucasian persuasion. Listen to it. Let's have a conversation. We can talk about it, then we can figure some things out. At the rate we're going now, they're busy trying to separate us, and we're heading in the direction that's it's not good. So yeah, we're doing it's different program. We're doing episodics. We have features of sketch comedy. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So anybody with some really good material, um, really love to read it. Really love to sit down, collaborate, and that's what we do.
Okay, so let me go back. What part of Germany? Because I was there too.
Uh-oh. I was stationed in Osterholz Schambrecht. We opened that base. It's about maybe 2 hours outside of Bremerhaven. And
Okay.
I was there when the Berlin Wall was still up, and they were still, they were doing the Battle of the Band competitions. And so I also play a little music. So for 5 years, I traveled all over Germany playing with a band. When you win that competition, then you get to travel and just entertain from post to post. So I got to travel all over Frankfurt, Mannheim. I got to go a lot of different places in Germany. Love Germany. Almost didn't come back home, but Mama was here, so I had to come back.
Had to come back home. I totally agree. Germany was very nice. I was in Ramstein, just right
Oh,
outside Kaiserslautern, K Town. Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. Okay,
So
okay.
Germany was a amazing experience, and I agree. You were just an American. You wasn't a
Right,
nigga.
right.
So
You and
you get back to the States,
you
that flip.
yeah. Come back home. I was home for an hour, and I heard it, and it's like, whoa, snap! Wet
Reality
and
check.
right back in it, right back in it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes, totally agree.
yeah.
Um, so what? Because you've done a lot, you experienced a lot. So my question would be my last question for you. Your best advice that you've received and your best advice that you've given to others.
Um, Actor wise, I just did a show here recently with Mr. Stan Shaw, who spent a lot of time with James Earl Jones, and that's one of my favorite things about being on set, meeting people like Stan, who's been in the industry doing it forever. Meeting Nick Nolte, just meeting different actors who have been doing it, and getting little tidbits from them. And the thing that really stood out for a long time, my students look at me like I'm crazy when I tell them, um, you're not an actor. Don't tell anybody that Nick is teaching you how to act. Because if I can tell you're acting, then you're not. And then they're looking at me like, what in the world does that mean? And then Stan Shaw put it to me in a way that he received from James Earl Jones. And James Earl Jones told him when he was a young man just starting in the industry. And he makes it a point, he says, to tell any young actor that takes the time to sit down and talk about it and that really wants it. He says that James Earl Jones told him, the best actors don't get caught doing it. Just so simple.
Yeah.
Don't get caught acting.
Yep.
That just speaks volumes. And that's staying true to the craft. Stay grounded. Be real. What's happening is really happening. It's true. And so stuff like that. When you talk to people who have been doing it and they share those little tidbits with you, stuff you wouldn't otherwise know, that's a gold mine. Those are my favorite things, getting to meet people, the collaborations, not so much, you do work, I have a lot of work that I'm proud of. I love having the opportunity to have done all 10 pieces. I think we bring this to Atlanta. New African Grove is the 16th theater company in the nation that has done all of the pieces. Myself and Keith Franklin are the only two actors that have done them all together. So there's a lot Atlanta has to be proud about. And if I do anything, I would like to make that stigma about Atlanta. I would like to change that. I would like to be part of that group of collaboratives or that group of creatives that take that stigma and throw it away. That they don't have to send someplace else to bring actors here. And not that the actors love them. They're struggling. They're on the grind just like we are. But we're here and we're ready. And we just need the opportunity.
We just need the opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna move on to our next segment, the real ass question of the day. And I took it easy on you being that this is your first time.
Appreciate you.
All right, the real ass question of the day. So now you're happily married, and I'm sure you've had a past, before your current wife, as everybody has. So my question is, what if your partner from your last serious relationship fell on hard time and was about to be homeless? And they contacted you to see if they can move in with you and your wife until they get on their feet. Now, what would you say to them?
You should see. My wife just came out of the kitchen into the room and looking at me right now. But I would say this: I have a real ass wife. Now she's 4'2" and is dynamite. But I have a real woman, and I say that to say this: if I had somebody from my past that fell on hard times, if I went to that woman, if I went to Princess and look, baby, you ain't gonna like this, but this is what it is. This woman when I say ride or die, you think that was real ass quick. I have put her through some real ass shit. She been through worse than that. And the only thing I've ever had to do was say, baby, look. She look at me, she get a little look on her face, nigga. And then we have a very real discussion. Until I met my wife, Princess, until I met her, real discussions with women. I always thought, you had to tell half. I was telling half truths. I was dipping and dodging. Back in the day, I was something like a pimp. I thought I was cool. When I found out I didn't have to be all that, I was enough that I can just be me. Give her real conversation. She's been a blessing. So I can, for after all we've been through, I can go to her and say, well, look, blah, 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 blah. Now she might be living in the garage somewhere. She ain't gonna be in her house. But I have a wife that wouldn't turn her back, that wouldn't let anybody be out in the cold somewhere. She's just that person. And homeless people just happen to be that's where her heart lies anyway. So I might be able to get away with that one. But if I want to put her on the sofa or anywhere inside the house, then I have to be in the garage. You know, she ain't stupid. She ain't
One of
stupid.
y'all gonna be in the garage.
Yeah, somebody gonna be in the garage. But she wouldn't leave anybody out in the cold. You know, I'm blessed in that way.
Yeah, but the garage can be cold too. But I'm just saying.
I know.
Put a space heater out there.
Yeah, she'll put a space heater out there for her. Like, you know, she's not cold hearted. You know, but now it becomes if what goes wrong with those situations when you try to sneak her into the garage and or try to put her up in an apartment somewhere and do all that dumb. You know, I'm 65 now, so I've been that dumb, and so no, tell her, and then 9 times out of 10, my wife, she have a better way to do it than I would think of. Mm-hmm. So put it on the table, you know. And not just because she over there looking at me cross-eyed, you know.
Like, what you gonna say?
yeah, what you gonna say? But yeah, I got a real one. I got a real one.
Okay. I'm gonna ask my husband if the tables was flipped, and it was one of my past relationships that become homeless or about to be homeless. What would you say?
Oh, you hear that? You hear the record scratch?
I would say no. I know niggas. Okay, if she may be in the house, then maybe I can get somewhere closer to her. And if he gone and I'm here and she here, there's a possibility. Hell
no. Hey man,
no, sir.
You gonna let your fellow man be out there in the cold?
That nigga can live in his car.
He ain't got no car.
Well, he better go to his mama's house.
He ain't got no
turn
mama.
the engine on.
Go to his daddy house.
He ain't got no daddy.
Nigga, you ain't got no
family.
Nope. There are shelters. No,
let's keep it real. And check this out, home. Check this out, home.
I know men thinking about trying to get it closer if they trying to get in your house. So they probably lying saying that they ain't got no family to go to. They probably lying that they ain't got no friends they can go to. So there go a shelter. Go to that.
Well, you dropped the mic in. It's been said.
It's been said.
Oh my God. It has been said.
There it is. There it is.
Now that question back at you, Miss Entertainment.
It depends, because I'm kind of like his wife. You don't want to see nobody out there in the cold and the you know, especially if you can help. But yeah, when I leave the house, she leaving the house. We leaving the house. When I leave, we leaving.
That would be the only way that
That's
I would
real.
think about letting him in there is if when I leave, he gone 2 hours before. When I come back, he still ain't back for another 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
At nighttime, nigga, go in your room. I'm padlocking the back of the door so you can't get out that motherfucker. No, sir.
That's real. That's real. That is so funny. Cause I sit with one of the plays we're doing King Haley. My wife is playing a character named Ruby, and so I sit and watch one of my good friends every night, every rehearsal night, hugging her and kissing her and all, and it's got to be real, you know. I don't want no acting, right? And so I noticed the rest of the cast while they're doing what they're doing, and I'm eyeballing them. They're looking at me, and,
Yep.
and, you know, he'll do a kiss, and he looking at me out the corner of his eye, like, I need y'all to do what you're doing, because I have a real one. I don't have to, you know. So it's that thin line, you know. Love is like that. Love is like that because you care, you know, because you care. You got to be.
Because I mean, it's acting, but not acting. But like you said, but then if that's the job, then that's the job.
That's the gig. That's the
Yep,
gig.
that's the gig. All right, let's get into celebrating some Black excellence. Every week, we recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions African Americans have made to this country or to the culture. Today, we celebrate Mr. August Wilson, an American playwright, and he has been referred to as as theater's poet of Black America. He is best known for the series of 10 plays collectively called the Pittsburgh Cycle or the Century Cycle, which narrates the experiences and heritage of African American community in the 20th century. Plays in the series include Fences, 1987, and The Piano Lesson, 1990, both which won a Pulitzer Prize for Drama, as well as Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, 1984, and Joe Turner's Come and Gone, 1988. In 2006, Wilson was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame, and two of his plays have been adapted into films: Fences 2016, starring Denzel Washington and Viola Davis, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom 2020, starring Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman. Denzel Washington has vowed to continue Wilson's legacy by adapting the rest of his plays into films for a wider audience. So today, August Wilson, we salute you and your contributions to the culture and to making this country great. I knew that was your favorite, so I knew I had to pick him.
Oh yeah. Oh man, he is. You hit the nail on the head there. Absolutely my favorite. I think for August was life changing for me. August was life. The instructor that introduced me to August, I think I was 35 when I first got introduced to August, and it was to play Fences. And she wanted to do the play, and she had me read it. And I thought, when I read it, I was like, okay, great. I can't wait to do it. And I did 6 or 7 other plays before she finally said, okay, now you're ready. She wouldn't let me do it off the rip. I think we did Zora Neale Hurston. I played Tea Cake. I played Walter Lee Younger. I played all these other characters. And then she finally said, okay, now you're ready to play Troy Maxson. And that was the best thing she ever did for me, because I wasn't ready. I would have looked at it as just a play. And then years later, I was 35 then. I finally played them when I was 37. When I was 65, I got to do them again. And this time I got to do it with my wife.
Nice.
And it was the best. Now, you talking about best moment on stage? That was probably it. Playing Troy Maxson, sold out houses night after night with my wife alongside of me. That was, you don't get no better than that. You just don't feel no better than that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 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 I'm looking at time, so we're gonna go ahead on and get this thing wrapping up. So announcements. We have our hit stage play, Struggles of a Father's Love, that is coming back in June 8th. Or on June 8th, embark on an emotional journey with a powerful play, delving into the struggles of a father, navigating connections with his son, and reconciling a strained relationship with his own father. This heart wrenching and thought provoking narrative is the exploration of family dynamics that will resonate with everyone who's faced challenges in their own relationships. So join us for a moving experience filled with original music and performances that uplift the resilience of fathers fighting for meeting connections with their children. Immerse yourself in this compelling story of love, growth, and perseverance. Tickets will go on sale soon. Follow us on SOAFL_stage play. And if you have a high school minority student and interested in the world of public relations, aka PR, then I have the workshop for you. Starting in March, my nonprofit From School to Possibilities will host its first workshop for the year in Reimagine PR. I will take a maximum of 16 minority students through a jam-packed 5 Saturdays workshop. We will be providing insights into the PR industry, a panel discussion from leaders in PR, and you will have a business challenge around PR and more. Applications are open. For more information, go to FromSchoolToPossibilities.org. And that is our show. Before we close, we need to pay some bills. So here's a word from our sponsor, Terradome Entertainment. Terradome Entertainment we turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities. If your dream is to become a photographer, we have a nice intimate photo studio just for you. If you want to record that next hit song or do voiceover work, we have a state-of-the-art studio also for you. If you want to professionally record your own podcast, well, we have that too. Check us out at www.terradoneentertainment.com. We are the only ones to turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities. All right. Shout out to dude over there, producer extraordinaire for some of those beats. If you have any questions or comments, email us at info@terradonent.com. That's info@terradonent.com. Final words, DJ Talented.
Well, me personally, don't let no man stay in your house with your wife. Now, brother, uncle, cousin, granddaddy, nobody. Them situations get kind of sticky. They get kind of sticky.
And that's your final word.
Final word.
All right, Nick Starr.
Say
Nick,
All right,
final
y'all.
words.
All right. Hey, let's try to do this together, y'all. Atlanta, we out here. Let's collaborate, get together, and make some things happen.
There you go. Here's the real ass check your truth time. I read a story on Facebook by a friend of mine. She was talking about her child's friend is getting ready to graduate with their MBA. The young person is now looking for a job and said that they will not be taking anything less than $120,000 a year. So the question was she out of touch or is this younger generation delusional? I think a little of both. For my friend and myself, for our generation, we were taught to tone down our greatness and just be thankful for what they give us. I've heard this older black lady tell me that this is the white man's world and all you can do is just try to survive in it. But this next generation is saying, fuck that. I am just as good, if not better, and you will recognize my greatness. So long gone are the days where black people had to look down when speaking to white people or stepping aside to let them go by or, making ourselves small so they can feel more superior. If you want something, do not let no one tell you can't do it. No, now you still, we still have to face the facts that white people still control the majority, yes, but that should never stop you. As we celebrate Black History Month, let's reflect on how many people has lost their lives so we can thrive. I am your president of the Real As People Society. God bless you and these United Motherfucking States of America. Give my claps. So, Real As quote of the day: life is never easy. So whatever comes to you that's challenging, be firm, be steadfast, and be bravest that you can be. Never lose hope. Always remember with God, nothing is impossible. So join us every Saturday at noon for the Power Hour with the Real As People Society crew here on Terradon Entertainment Radio, and catch the replay of this show and others on terradonentradio.com or on all your podcast apps. You can hit us up on IG at Power Hour _raps _crew. I am your president, MiZZ Entertainment. You can contact me at MiZZ _entertainment _ATL. And my chief entertainment officer,
DJ Talented _1.
and
All
Nick,
social media.
Nick Starr. Where can people connect with you?
At Starr69 all day long.
Star 69. Okay. I like that. And I leave y'all with this as always. Be kind to each other. Love one another. Keep God first. Thank you for joining. Stay safe. And we're out.